is the 27th day of January, according to my calendar, and I hope yours too. It's Thursday, and I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Good to see you again. Here we are, clouds and fog, and we can't seem to bust out of this pattern. It's been persistent all month long. It seems like we're finally going to get a change in the weather. It's been a long time since we've had any kind of significant weather event. The big snowfall back on the 6th and the 7th, and that's been about it. Well, that's going to change. Significant snow now in the Cascades, but here in the Wenatchee Valley, once we get to Sunday and Monday, we're probably not going to get any. Maybe just a little bit. That's it. We'll be fairly dry, but at least it's going to mix up the clouds and blast this gunk out of here. We're all for that. Forecast details are coming up, news, sports, everything else you need to start your day. It's Thursday. That means Paws for pets. Goose the dog still needs a home. It's kind of a strange scenario. Rachel went down and filmed the segment with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, but before we air it, which is on Thursdays for Paws for Pets, the animal got adopted, which is good news. The bad news is Goose the dog has been in dog jail since September. We can do better than that. Let's get Goose a home with Paws for Pets. An opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. Again, we've never aired it, so get ready to hear what's on Mike's mind. And Sean Zears will join me. Normally, we talk Wenatchee Wild Hockey with Sean on Tuesdays, I should say. Didn't get a chance to do that. We visited with Sean via Zoom a day or so ago. We're going to play that for you back in the back half of the hour. Big series for the Wenatchee Wild. Tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, the Penticton V's are in town. Probably their biggest rival in the BCHL. It'll be a good three-game series. Starts tonight. Sean will fill you in on those details. 25 degrees, cloudy, foggy. Here we go. Let's take a look around North Central Washington with whatever we can look. Is that the Heights camera? That is the Wenatchee Heights camera. It's a unique angle. Boy, is it me or the clouds and the fog are really hanging low out there in the Wenatchee Valley? It's tilted up a little bit, but you can't see Birch and you can't see Badger. Heck, you can barely make out Sunny Slope out there in the muck and the gluck. And again, the low clouds and the patchy fog will persist until we get active weather by Sunday. So there we go. Very interesting weather yesterday. Our high was 27 degrees. We got to 27 degrees at about 10:30 on Wednesday morning, and we never went any warmer. We were 24 was our low, 27 was our high. Temperature variation, almost nothing, and we just got to 27, and we just stuck there for a long period, well, the whole rest of the day, as a matter of fact. Camera number 2. Ooh, that's the Lower Navarre. We haven't used that one in a long time. That's the Navarre Road on your way between Stamen Flats and Lake Chelan. They still get little spittles of snow up there once you get up onto the area there on the highway. So heading on up to Lake Chelan, and you're taking the Navarre Coulee, you'll be taking that highway that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. That's a cool camera. Lake Chelan way off in the distance there. Camera number 3. Orondo Rock camera. Again, pointing up the Columbia River towards Orondo, which is on the far left-hand side of your screen. Doesn't look like a great deal of traffic. It's not quite that bright there. Again, the cameras are designed to let in as much light as they possibly can so we can make out the details. We're not to sunrise yet. It's still a half hour away. Camera 4. Number 1 Canyon. Again, you can see 5th Street pretty plainly, and the clouds and the fog. Sunrise this morning, 7:33. Sunset, 4:55. 9 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. We're having longer days. It just doesn't seem like we're having longer days when you can't see the sun. And you can't see the sun. And we're still dealing with this. Here's a slide from the National Weather Service. When will the sun return? Sunday. We're going to have to deal with it today and tomorrow and Saturday. And then Sunday, we finally start getting a little stuff. The ridge is going to start breaking down and moving out of here. That's going to allow more active weather to arrive by Sunday. And again, some significant snow in the mountains and wintry precipitation in the valleys. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, because the lee of the Cascades are going to protect us, we're probably not going to get any snow, maybe a little bit of rain. It's certainly going to get warmer. Now, the preliminary estimates are for a lot of snow for Stevens Pass Sunday morning into Monday, and it's going to come in a couple of waves. So if you're going to drive Stevens Pass, you're going to get hammered with a lot of snow on Sunday. Not so much here in the Wenatchee Valley. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get any at all, quite frankly. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Cloudy, foggy, high of 29. 23 for the overnight low. On Friday, cloudy, foggy, 29 for the afternoon high. 23 for the overnight low. Saturday, cloudy, foggy, high of 30, overnight low of 23. Sunday, just clouds, a little bit warmer. Here comes that system I was telling you about. By the time we get to Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, we have a chance of a rain-snow mix. Snow level is going to go all the way down to the valley floor, but again, with a 40% chance of precipitation, don't really think we're going to see a great deal of snow here in a little old Wenatchee town, USA. Monday, warmer still, up near 40. Rain more than snow on Monday. Tuesday, dry, sunny. Welcome the sun again. That'll be nice. It's been taking a long vacation. Tuesday, February 1st, looks pretty nice. Sunshine and a high of 38. So we'll be, we're going to bust out of this monotonous, cloudy, stagnant weather finally by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. There is a silver lining out there. You just got to pack a little patience. All right, to the pass as we go. Your pass report brought to you by D.A. Davidson, the strength of a trusted partner and personalized solutions to meet your financial needs. Remember SIPC. Once the sun comes up and you want to get some sun, head on up. Temperatures in the mountain passes have been considerably warmer than they're here in the Wenatchee Valley. Traction tires advised still on Stevens, has been all week, even though it's fine. A friend of mine drove over Stevens Pass the other day, and they said there's a couple of patches of some compact ice, and that's really about it, and that's right at the summit for the most part in those areas that don't really get a great deal of direct sunlight. So there's a traction tire advisory, but Stevens doesn't look too bad. Blewett, you're fine. Roadway is bare and dry, no advisories, no restrictions. They've had some snow melt up there. Blewett's afternoon high temperatures in the 40s yesterday. I-90, same deal, no advisories, no restrictions. You're good to go. No snow today, no snow tonight, no snow Friday, no snow Friday night, no snow Saturday. Sunday, snow. Perhaps a lot of snow. The heaviest snow is going to come down Sunday night into Monday, and they're going to get a lot of it, especially on Stevens Pass. All of the major mountain passes are going to get snow, but Stevens is going to get the brunt of it, not so much on Blewett and I-90. So Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, be prepared for winter driving conditions. It's coming. Right now, you're fine. 8 minutes after the hour, a 1-minute break, and then the information you need to start your Thursday with your morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Katie Joslin, and I'm a pediatrician at CVCH. I would like to address some of the hesitancy that many parents may be feeling about the COVID-19 vaccine for their young child. My husband and I both work in the medical field, and we have reviewed the research, and we determined that this vaccine is far safer for our child than getting a COVID-19 infection. I encourage you to talk to your provider and find out if the COVID-19 vaccine is the right choice for your child.
Find ageless beauty at Chelan Valley Skincare. Cindy offers the most up-to-date treatments for personalized skincare. If sagging skin or acne scars are some skin challenges for you, Chelan Valley Skincare offers non-invasive, non-surgical skincare. With up-to-date technology for shorter treatment plans, you'll benefit from Cindy's expertise to help you accomplish your skincare goals. Please stop by their website for details on all their services. Call Cindy today for your free consultation.
The hits just keep on coming. Cloudy and foggy, 24 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley. We're going to deal with the socked-in clouds and the inversion and the fog and the mist all the way through into Sunday. By Sunday afternoon, an active weather system comes in, going to scour out the skies, we'll warm up, see a little bit of sunshine, maybe a little bit of snow Sunday night into Monday. We begin with this story. James Lawrence Jackson Smith, he's the Michigan man who assaulted a Wenatchee hotel worker by strangulation last May, was sentenced to 18 years in prison yesterday afternoon. Jurors convicted him last month of first-degree assault and kidnapping. Jackson Smith summoned a female employee to his room at the Wenatchee Super 8 to fix a clogged toilet, then seized her in a chokehold and tried to strangle her until she successfully broke free. Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira said she was concerned that Jackson Smith expressed no remorse for his crime. When he's finally able to leave prison, he's under the judge's order to have no contact with the victim for the next 80 years. An unidentified woman was killed on I-90 5 miles east of George. This happened shortly after midnight this morning. She was struck by a car while standing on the highway. The Washington State Patrol says that the woman was standing in the outside lane on the eastbound side of I-90 when she was struck by a 2019 Subaru Ascent being driven by 43-year-old Layla Hepp of Granite Falls. Hepp was not injured. The identity of the pedestrian killed is not known this morning. A Wenatchee man who carried nearly 2 ounces of methamphetamine and an illegal handgun was sentenced this week to just over 4 years in prison. 46-year-old Maurice Ricardo Young will also receive drug addiction treatment during his 50 months of confinement. Young was arrested in August after a police tactical team staked out his Wenatchee motel room on information he had been selling methamphetamine. During his arrest, he tried to dispose of a bag containing the drugs and a firearm. Now, in exchange for his plea Monday to possession with intent and unlawful possession of a weapon, Chelan County prosecutors dismissed related charges of heroin possession and fleeing from law enforcement. After a brief standoff at a Mattawa home on Tuesday, police arrested a 16-year-old suspect in that October armed robbery at a Quincy gas station. The juvenile was one of 2 people pictured in surveillance photos the Quincy Police Department released after the October 18th robbery. The second suspect has not been arrested. The victim reported that about 4:15 in the morning, he was washing his car windows when 2 men, one armed with a handgun, approached him demanding cash and his wallet. Well, the stolen vehicle the 2 were using was later found abandoned near Beverly Burke Road and Highway 243. Quincy police say they were assisted in the Tuesday arrest by Mattawa and Royal City Police, as well as the Grant County Sheriff's Office. And after years of paying lawyers by a contract basis to defend cases where indigent people were accused of crime, Douglas County says it will now establish its own public defender's office to fulfill that obligation. All defendants, of course, are entitled to legal representation, even if they can't pay for it. Douglas County says outside representation has become too expensive, and it didn't renew its latest contract. The county hopes to establish its own public defense staff by April. Commissioners outlined their plan in a public meeting Tuesday with Douglas County Superior Court Judge Brian Huber.
We approved the resolution today for notice of intent to form the public Office of Public Defender. That hearing will be set for February 8th at 9 a.m. And then moving forward, my understanding is that we need to form the district. We then need to form the selection committee, for lack of a better term, and then get all the pieces of the puzzle put together in terms of office space, all of the nitty gritty.
I'm pleased to hear that that the county's doing this. It seems like something that in the long term needed to be done.
Even in my short time here, I don't see that we've been equitably represented by the contracts that we've had, or that they haven't fulfilled their obligations and helped move through the caseloads that we've had.
We think it's going to be a better end product for the citizens.
That's what's making news at 14 minutes after the hour. Grant Olson is back. That made me a very happy guy. He'll be anchoring the news tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Eric at the sports desk with a preview of some of the stories you'll be seeing tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Here's Grant himself.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, Rachel Mandelis will have our weekly Paws for Pets feature with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Patchy fog, low clouds, and cool temperatures right through Saturday, then some changes. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will take a look at tonight's high school sports schedule, and we'll have a preview of tonight's Kraken game and Gonzaga's matchup with Loyola Marymount. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. It's good to have you back. And don't forget, you want to chime in, you got a comment, a news tip, look at the bottom of your screen. That's how you go about doing it. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page and use the Messenger app, or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com. I recommend that you bookmark it because we populate it on a regular basis with everything else that you need, including our shows, which are archived. If you want to see an older edition of the news or this show or whatever it may be, any of our local shows, you can watch any show you want by going to ncwlife.com. After 1 minute break, sports, lots of high school action last night. Plus, we'll preview the Kraken and the Wild. In hockey, we'll have the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, Paws for Pets, and we're talking Wild hockey with Sean Zears, the interim broadcasting voice. Busy Thursday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
To achieve greatness once, it's not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning. Introducing the next all-electric super truck. The revolutionary GMC Hummer EV SUV. Reserve one now while they last.
Just about 17 minutes after the hour, let's kick things off with the Lush Schwab Prep Girls Basketball scoreboard. From last night, the Sunnyside Grizzlies raced out to a 35-3 lead after the first quarter. And as you might imagine, they had no problems. They downed the Panthers last night, 71-32. Panthers were led by the 8 points of Christina Blauman. Also last night, Quincy had no trouble beating Manson in girls basketball. Coming up tonight in girls basketball, your schedule, Ephrata travels to Grandview at 6 o'clock. At 6 is Manson hosting Lake Roosevelt. Bridgeport's at Antioch. And Waterville Mansfield's game with Pateras. Not going to happen because of COVID. Again, there's your girls basketball scoreboard. All right, to the Lush Schwab Prep boys basketball schedule. Take a gander. There you go. Wenatchee had an 11-point lead after the first quarter. Couldn't hold on. Sunnyside came back to beat the Panthers. Trent Goodell led Wenatchee with 20 points in the loss. In other action, Shadle Park beat Moses Lake. And Quincy, who's having a very good year, beat Manson 78-63. Boys play tonight. Here's your schedule. You got Ephrata at Grandview at 7:30. Lake Roosevelt visits Manson. Antioch will host Bridgeport. The Shockers and the Billy Goats, again, won't be played, just like the girls, because of COVID. On the prep wrestling schedule tonight, Quincy will host Cashmere, Cascade, and Chelan. That starts at 6. Wenatchee will have Sunnyside in town at 7. Moses Lake has a Big 9 home match against Ike at 7. And Ephrata will wrestle at Sela, also at 7. To the Les Schwab men's college basketball scoreboard. Washington State forcing 19 Utah turnovers en route to a 71-54 Pac-12 men's basketball win last night. Andrew Yakimovsky and Tyrell Roberts led the way with 15 points apiece.
With the basketball, and again, Stefanovic hits the three. Carlson comes in there feeling better, and then Yakimovsky with the answer at the other end.
All right, I'm warming up to Yakimovsky's skill set. I've always liked three-point shooters. What I see now from a year ago, or even early in the season, is a player who's really starting to get comfortable in his role.
And Williams pokes it away. The run out, lay in, Noah Williams. Ball poked away, but able to keep it was Rooster, and now Muhammad Gay up high to rip it out of the air. They're struggling to score the basketball. Here's Carlson, Muhammad Gay, a lot of contact, loose ball out of play, and it's Washington State ball.
When you can add value like offensive rebounding, you really can create problems for the opponent.
Amagini wanting the ball. Roberts over Stefanovic again. Roberts with 9. He's 3 of 6 from downtown. And now the defense. Yakimovsky on the floor. Tyrell Roberts now, the spin from the elbow. Get that on a highlight reel. Washington State up by 20.
Cougars improved to 4-3 in conference play after the game. Coach Kyle Smith said he was really happy with the way his team played, considering they haven't played in a long time because of COVID.
Really tickled with the outcome of this game and how we played, especially considering that we've been out for a while. Like I said, had no idea how we'd come out, but we really, our defensive pressure and intensity was good. We turned them over 13 times the first half, and they'd been playing well. Their UCLA had a chance to beat them, and with Carlson coming back, I really tickled that we were able to separate in that game, and good win for us.
All right, to the men's college basketball schedule. Eastern Washington, Montana State will do battle in Big Sky Country. 6 o'clock tonight. That's on ESPN+. The Huskies will host Colorado at 8 on the Pac-12 Network. Second-rate Gonzaga is also on at 8 o'clock tonight at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Loyola Marymount in town. That game is on the CBS Sports Network. Women's scoreboard. Joanna Tedder had led 4 Cougars in double figures. She had 17. Washington State knocked off Oregon State 58-51. All 5 Wazoo starters contributed to the victory.
Pass comes back towards the midcourt stripe. Driving in goes Adams. Tries to pass it inside. There again with the steal is Crystal Edger-Walker. Long down court pass to Tedder. Stops. Puts it up. Got it. 2 more in transition. And Johanna Tedder has her first 2. 7-4 in favor of the Cougars. Charlize Ledger-Walker driving into the paint. Kicks out to Tedder. Open. 3-ball corner pocket. Got it. 12-9 Washington State. Wallach at the 3-point arc. Gives it to Tedder. She'll put up a 3, and that's an answer. So Tedder with her second triple. Down to 8 left to play. Charlize Ledger-Walker into the paint. Out will come Crystal Ledger-Walker for 3. Got it! Crystal Ledger-Walker with the 3. And that is going to do it. The first time since January 2nd, the Cougars had a chance to play at home, and they get a big home victory over their Northwest rivals.
The Cougars jumped out to a 12-6 lead in the first quarter, and that was the difference in the ball game, according to Coach Kemi Etheridge.
Just thought it was a great 40-minute game from us. I mean, obviously it has some highs and lows in it, and you're going to have runs by a really good Oregon State team that has so many weapons and versatility to their game. I thought we managed the game incredibly well. It's so exhausting to even attempt to try to win. And I know our team is exhausted, but I thought they were really so good on the defensive end, and that carried us. And clearly, making some shots was a big factor. But you hold that team to 51 points. You got to talk mostly about just how good the defense was at holding that team down.
So that's what happened. Here's what's going to happen tonight. The women's schedule looks like this. Eastern Washington will host Montana State at 6 o'clock. That'll be on ESPN+. The Gonzaga women will be in Malibu to take on Pepperdine at 7 o'clock. Seattle Kraken back on the road. NHL play today. They're going to be at the PPG Paint Arena in beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, taking on the Penguins. Seattle is looking for another bounce-back game. They lost to Nashville, of course, at home on Tuesday, 4-2. Pittsburgh's coming off a victory over Phoenix. They've won 6 in a row. They'll drop the puck at 4 o'clock this afternoon. You can watch it, as can I, on Root Sports Northwest. The Wenatchee Wild start the first of 3 nights of back-to-back-to-back games, the Penticton V's. Here in the big city, Wenatchee is 8-2 since facing the V's last in Penticton. That was back on December 4th. The puck drops at 6 o'clock tonight at the Town Toyota Center, WenatcheeWildHockey.com for tickets. And we got high school hoops on the schedule tomorrow night. Eric and Grant will be courtside. The Panthers and the Pirates will do battle. We'll start out with the girls' game live on Facebook at 5:45. The boys will be at 7:30 on both Facebook and television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. And then the girls' game will air on television tomorrow night at 10:30. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday, the 27th day of January. The obscure holiday of the day today is National Chocolate Cake Day. Now, I know a lot of the obscure holidays are food related, but if you don't eat, you don't live, and who doesn't like a nice piece of chocolate cake? Chocolate cake, up until the Depression, in the 1920s, or actually before, slightly before the Depression, was impossible. I mean, it was only for the richest of rich people because the ingredients to make chocolate cake was both expensive and hard to find. All that changed when a guy by the name of, what was his name? I can't remember here. I don't have it. It was called P. Duff and Sons. P. Duff and Sons, a bakery based in Pittsburgh. They're the ones who came up with the idea of a boxed cake mix. You buy the cake mix and you buy the milk and the egg and the flour, whatever it is, and you go home and you make it. And then all of that went on hold during World War II when there was rationing of sugar and flours and the things that you need to make cake. That changed after the war. General Mills got into the game, and then Duncan Hines, and they took over the market with their cake mixes. I don't know how many people, I can't even remember the last time I had a chocolate cake made from scratch. You go to the store, you buy the cake mix, you're done with it. Thank goodness for Duncan Hines and General Mills. Makes it easy. Have a piece of chocolate cake today with a tall glass of cold milk. Sounds good. 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Happy birthday to the oldest public university in the United States. The University of Georgia was founded on this date in 1785, 237 years ago today, by a guy by the name of Lyman Hall, who was a graduate of Yale University. He was one of 3 medical doctors who signed the Declaration of Independence in 1785. He was the governor of Georgia, and he convinced the Georgia state legislature to set aside 40,000 acres and a bunch of money and to start a campus called the University of Georgia that would be open to anybody who wanted to go and get an education, and they didn't have to go to the Northeast to do it. The University of Georgia, the first public university in this country, opened its doors on this date in 1785. 55 years ago today, January 27th, 1967, they were in their space capsule at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. They were testing some equipment for the eventual flight of Apollo 1. Gus Grissom, Ed White, Roger Chaffee killed when a fire broke out in their space capsule. The audio recordings of what happened are intense. I'm not going to play them. You can listen to them if you want to. It's pretty horrifying. Just like an airplane, the capsule that they were in, very small of course, just sat the 3 of them, was pressurized, just like an airplane, only it was pressurized with pure oxygen. And because it was pressurized, it did have an escape hatch, but it was pressurized with oxygen, which made the escape hatch very hard to open. There was a lot of combustible materials in the cabin. Something went wrong, a short circuit, something caught something on fire, and since it was pure oxygen in the cabin of the, it just, like that. It was all over in a matter of 10 seconds. Tragedy at the Cape 55 years ago today. The Vietnam War ended 49 years ago today, at least for this country. Went on for another couple of years. January 27th, 1973. The Paris Peace Accords are signed. American involvement in Vietnam comes to an end. Colonel William Nolde was killed on that day, became the last official American casualty of the Vietnam War. He was the 45,914th confirmed death. 11,683 Americans missing in action. So that made the final toll of American casualties in the Vietnam War at 57,597. Our involvement ended on this date 49 years ago today. Super Bowls, which is a registered trademark of the National Football League, all rights reserved. For many people, it's still the best Super Bowl ever. Not for Grant, but for pure entertainment value and pure football excellence. Super Bowl 25, XXV in Tampa was as good as they got. The Giants, of course, beat the Bills 20-19 on the missed Scott Norwood field goal on the last play of the game. Of course, the Gulf War had just started. There was patriotic fever everywhere, a bit much. Whitney Houston sang the national anthem. It became a hit. You remember that? Halftime entertainment was New Kids on the Block, but you didn't see that. ABC instead broadcast Peter Jennings, who did an update on what was going on in the Gulf War in the Middle East. The New Kids on the Block halftime show was showed later on after the game. This was the only Super Bowl to date that's just been decided by 1 point, and it is the first Super Bowl where neither team committed a turnover. For a lot of people, Super Bowl 25 is still the gold standard for Super Bowls, and it was a good game. And finally on this day, 19 years ago today, the very first selections for the National Recording Registry are announced by the Library of Congress. They do it every year. Among the recordings that were forever enshrined, Thomas Edison singing Mary Had a Little Lamb from 1888, the oldest known recording still existing. All of President Theodore Roosevelt's fireside chats, the oldest known recordings of Casey at the Bat, and Who's on First, Bing Crosby's recording of White Christmas, Woody Guthrie's recording of This Land Is Your Land, Elvis's legendary Sun Session recordings, Miles Davis's great 1959 album Kind of Blue, which ironically enough I listened to yesterday afternoon, Ray Charles singing What I'd Say, Aretha Franklin's Respect, and The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, a rap protest song that got a lot of people upset A lot of blue hairs said there shouldn't be a rap song as one of the first inductees into the National Recording Registry. It did, and it is. There. The bottom of the hour. Birthdays. Speaking of music, perhaps the greatest composer of classical music ever. He's got to be in the top 5. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who only lived to the age of 35. He was born in the state in 1756. His works are phenomenal. Bach, Beethoven, Handel, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think Mozart probably has a claim as the greatest ever. Lewis Carroll, the English novelist, poet, and mathematician who famously took drugs and wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll, born in the state in 1832. Jerome Kern, tote that barge, lift that bale, show a little grit, land in jail. The American composer and songwriter, Old Man River, Showboat, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, The Way You Look Tonight, the great Jerome Kern, born in the state in 1885. Died in 1945 at the age of 60, but the music lives on. The man who played Floyd the Barber on the Andy Griffith Show, Howard McNear, born in the state in 1905. He was also the radio voice of the Doctor in Gunsmoke. During the show's run, of course, Howard McNeil suffered a significant stroke. Early on in the Andy Griffith Show, he missed the show for about a year and a half. He was invited back on the show. They missed his comic relief. And you can tell, not necessarily with his speech, but what they did with Howard McNeil before his stroke, of course. He was standing and walking and talking. After his stroke, Howard McNeil, whenever he appeared on the Andy Griffith Show, was either standing, but was held up by braces that were hidden by a barber's chair or whatever, or he was sitting down because he couldn't stand. Howard McNeil. It was Howard McNear, born in the state in 1905. The only member of Pink Floyd to appear on every one of their albums, and the only member of Pink Floyd to have never left the group, Pink Floyd. He is their drummer. He is Nick Mason. Nick Mason is 78 years old today. The 17th Chief Justice of the United States of America, John Roberts, is 67 years old today. And Keith Olbermann is 63 years old today. I've always liked him, especially when he was on SportsCenter. 32 minutes after the hour. Still to come an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. It's Wild Hockey Talk with Sean Zears with the Penticton V's in town for a 3-game series beginning tonight. But first, Goose the dog has been there since September. Let's get him a home. It's Paws for Pets on the NCW Life Channel.
This week on Paws for Pets, Jenny Ulrich, the volunteer and outreach coordinator, introduces us to a dog named Goose.
This here is Goose. Goose is, we absolutely love him. He's been with us for quite a while. Sadly, not many people come here and actually come to see Goose. So he's a little depressed about that, but he's a great dog. He is awesome to walk. He's pretty chill. He's not your energetic kind of go wild type of guy. I call him kind of the independent kind of guy. He's happy just to be in his bed and laying around. He does have a little bit of territorialness to him too, where like he would need to be in a secured house with a secured fence. Other dogs coming onto his property, he wouldn't really tolerate that great. He has been shown to be a little reactive. But when he bonds with his person, he definitely loves his person. So he just needs a owner that's going to be aware of that. Keep Goose safe, and he's going to be pretty awesome.
If you're interested in meeting and adopting Goose, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for quiet hour. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Since 1932, Camp Zuniga, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Zanika's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Zanika today, www.campfirencw.org.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow. We have live bands to rock the night away, comedy to make you laugh, and if that's not enough, we have poker every Monday and Wednesday night. Club Crow in Cashmere has it all. Check out our Facebook event page for dates and times. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from Localtel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from Localtel lets you decide when shows begin.
This is Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, when you were a kid, did your mom ever say something to you like, make sure you have on clean underwear in case you're in an accident? Well, mine did. And that thought flits through my mind once in a while I'm getting dressed, and I think, what kind of thing was that to tell a child? When you're a child, what kind of neurosis are you going to develop about the possibility of some obscure and undefined vague accident where somehow, for some unknown reason, your underwear is going to be a significant factor? And in my experience as a first responder and myself in later life, I have never, ever come across a situation where the cleanliness of someone's underwear was an issue. I don't know where our parents came up with this stuff. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Are you frustrated because you feel like you aren't getting the internet speeds you pay for? One of the most common ways to test your internet connection is called a speed test. These are free and easily located on the internet and can tell you how fast your internet is. However, for certain reasons, these tests may not always be accurate. A speed test shows you how fast a file can be downloaded to the computer you're running the test on. However, there are many things that can affect the speed of that download besides the speed of the internet going into your home. A few of the things that can affect your internet speed are poor Wi-Fi signal, other wireless signals interfering with the wireless signals coming from your router, other devices in your home draining your bandwidth, your computer or phone running apps programs in the background that you aren't aware of, slowing your entire device. Any of these things can slow down your internet. Your internet is like water flowing down a pipe. There's a big pipe bringing internet to your local area, and a smaller pipe coming off of that bringing internet to your home address. Your router is just another pipe that brings the internet inside your house, and every device inside your home is like a pipe connected to the router. Just like with water, if any of those pipes along the way are too small for the amount of internet that needs to flow through for a family, the flow for everything down the line will be much slower. It's a lot like trying to push all the water going into your house through a small straw. Also, again, just like with water, if everyone in your home is using the internet at once, any individual device may not be able to receive the full flow of the internet. It's like your whole family trying to drink out of that small straw all at once. If you're struggling with internet that is slower than expected, make sure that all of the devices that your internet flows through are working correctly, and check all devices in your home for background programs that may be using the internet. If everything still appears to be working correctly, contact us and we'll be able to help.
Mail It Your Way in East Wenatchee has new local owners. Need a mailbox with a physical address? Mail It Your Way has them in a variety of sizes. Postal service and FedEx shipping, packaging, printing. Stop by Mail It Your Way in East Wenatchee on Grant Road next to Glaze.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life Channel.
There are so many possibilities for you to learn local right here at Wenatchee Valley College. Take classes towards a degree or certificate in more than 50 areas of study. Wenatchee Valley College now offers a large variety of virtual classes, including labs, sign language, music, and machining, and they have the resources to help you succeed in virtual classes. So when a college degree is your goal, learn local at Wenatchee Valley College.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Normally, we visit with Sean Zears, the interim broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild on Tuesdays. Scheduling conflicts and other things have intervened, and so here it is on a Thursday to talk about Wild hockey with Sean Zears. We have a lot to talk about. First of all, the Penticton V's are in town for a 3-game series beginning tonight. We'll get to that in just a little bit. First of all, right out of the box, Parker Murray, the newest addition to the Wild roster as advertised. This guy can skate, he can shoot, he can defend. He's a great steal, Sean.
Oh, he certainly is. And I just like to say, wow, we're actually talking about hockey for a change. It's been forever since we've actually talked about Wenatchee playing a game. But it's been a long time since we've had somebody like Parker all year long on the ice. Again, he's 6'5", 220, and he showed his might on the ice when against West Kelowna, despite them losing. It was good to see him get on the power play and even strength. You know, he's got a lot of everything, and I think that's going to be a nice edge that he's going to bring to Wenatchee here down the road when they're having to face these other teams that have some finesse skaters and everything like that. It's good, and he's on the third line as well, which means, you know, when you have 3 balanced lines, something that Wenatchee really hasn't had all year long, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that. The importance of having 3 balanced lines is terribly important, because you want to have that, because you don't want to have a weak link in that chain. You want to be able to take it to them all the time for 20 minutes at a crack.
That's right. And West Kelowna, when you get down that far, when you're down 5-0 at one point, it's almost next to impossible to come back and try. And they did. They had a really great effort of trying to come back. But Clarkey said after the game that you can't give a team like West Kelowna a 5-goal lead right off the bat. You just can't do it, because they have 3 lines that are completely balanced. And, of course, the first line, with Felix Trudeau, their leading scorer, getting a couple goals. And just you can't do that. But with Wenatchee and the fact that now they have, 3 lines that anybody can score, that helps. That's going to really propel them. And I'm glad to see Parker finally fit in. I think a lot of people didn't know this. Parker has played with some of the kids that are on the team. He's from California, and some of the other players are from California. In fact, he was online with Jack Ivey. It just came second nature to him. So it didn't take long for him to get accustomed to playing with the team. It's just a matter of getting the games in, which, thank goodness, they finally were able to.
Yeah, in fact, if anything, they got a lot of games coming up, and we'll get to that in just a second. Again, Parker Murray, 4 goals in his first 3 games. Hopefully he'll be lighting up the net a lot over the next 3 games. But let's go back to Cranbrook. A nice series, identical 3-2 victories over last weekend before they went up and lost to West Kelowna. As we show highlights of Friday night's victory, the 3-2 victory over Cranbrook. Cranbrook's a good team. It was nice to beat them twice.
Oh, absolutely. And again, both games, no goal scoring in the first period, and it looked fairly even. It's that second period that it seems like everybody just goes, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and do our thing. And that's when Parker scored his first goal of the year in that second period. And it was quick, too. I like to see Wenatchee score quick, but unfortunately, that old habit of giving up 2 goals real quick back-to-back happened to Wenatchee in that second period when Cranbrook scored 36 seconds apart. You don't like seeing that, but the resilience of the team keeping him in line, and again, that all comes to Tyler Shea. I mean, the kid is just playing lights out here lately, and he is really starting to come into his own. He was single-handedly keeping the team in both Thursday and Friday night because they were outshot both games. But Tyler just stood on his head and did what he needed to do. And again, it's great to see them pull out late wins in the third period when they can get scoring. And again, I think that this Cranbrook team, they're going to see a lot more of them. It's a good gauge to kind of put where Wenatchee is right now.
And where Wenatchee is right now is they're getting ready to take on, to me, their rivals in the British Columbia Hockey League. Geographically speaking, Penticton is about as close as you're going to get to Wenatchee. The V's have long been one of the most outstanding franchises in the British Columbia Hockey League. They started out the season just on fire. They have cooled down quite a bit, Sean. In the last 10 games, the V's are 4-4-0-2, while the Wild are 8-2-0-0. Taking 2 of 3 from Penticton this weekend at home would be a feather in their cap. Talk about the V's and what we can expect tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Well, again, you have 2 of the top leading scorers in the league, in Luke Wilson and Josh Nadeau, playing against Wenatchee. Wilson has 43 points, and he leads the team in assists. Right behind him is Josh Nadeau, who has 30 goals and 23 assists. And again, you have that balance, that you have guys that can score and everything like that. And their goaltending, too, has been real. Well, Caden Lane, he's lost 1 game. That's it. Well, technically 2 with an overtime loss. But he's got a goals against average of 1.91. That leads to the BCHL. So they're going to lean a lot on him. But if Wenatchee can get to somebody early, I think that, that's been Penticton's ammo here lately. It's just they've been hit hard early, and it seems like they just can't come back. So I think that's going to be a big key for Wenatchee here, is to strike early. Because if you let Penticton take over the game, forget it. It's not going to happen.
Does the fact that Penticton has hit, again, Penticton got off to such a ridiculously good start, probably unsustainable. They got off to such a hot start. They have cooled down a little bit. Is Clarkey studying tapes? Is Clarkey thinking, okay, they're only 4-4-0-2 in their last 10 games. Somebody's starting to figure out these guys, or is it just the nature of hockey that you can't play that good for that long?
Oh, I think it's a little bit of both. I think you can keep, depending on like maybe the talent that you have. Now, if the interior division was so bad and Penticton can just roll over everybody, that's one thing. But there's 9 teams in that division, and 6 of them are like really, really, really good, including Wenatchee. And they're bunched up. I mean, Salmon Arm came out of the middle of nowhere, and now they're the top team in the league. And you got to face these guys a lot. And Penticton's the same way. I mean, they're just really, it's just between, I think, a slower start, you get a hot start, you're going to eventually cool down. But yeah, I mean, the way that 2022 is now, you can get video however, whenever. It's so easy and accessible. You can scout as much as you can. And again, I think the most important thing that Clarkey's going to say is just play your game and just keep doing what you are doing. And I think that's really how Wenatchee has come as far as they have, because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and being in the right places and gelling. And we had a discussion on one of the pre-games how they don't like to use the word youth anymore, how youth is why they struggled at the beginning. They just don't do that anymore because, well, these guys got experience. They're playing against some really good players, and now they're finally starting to get that swagger. And a lot of that has to do with some of the veteran guys. But then you have a guy like Cade Littler who is just lighting it up each and every game. And, you know, the kid's only 17. So, it's literally a little bit of both.
And it should be pointed out, some quick housekeeping here. Playoffs are going to be a little bit later. Everybody, and it's not just a Wenatchee Wild issue. Everybody in the BCHL League, every franchise in both divisions, have been dealing with COVID issues. Last-second cancellations, can't cross the border. But the BCHL and the Board of Governors and the scheduling folks have done yeoman's work. Everybody's trying to get in as many games as they possibly can. And earlier in the week, they announced that they are going to be doing some makeup games, including a home game against Penticton and a couple of trips up north. So hopefully we're now locked and loaded, knock on wood, for these makeup games. Not really an issue, except they're going to be playing a lot of hockey in a very short period of time, aren't they, Sean?
February especially, because, you know, I can look right now at the schedule and I can count. I think there's at least 11 games if it starts February 2nd when it's a makeup game hosting Cranbrook. That wasn't on the schedule. And then you got the 7th, the 8th, 11th, the 12th. I mean, there's a lot of hockey to be played in February. And now with these makeup games in March, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 games. So they're going to be playing probably half of their schedule in 2 months. That's a lot of hockey. But it's you tell these kids that they're going to play this hockey and they don't care. They just want to get on the ice and play. And that's the great thing about it. Now, of course, you know, with the travel and everything like that, I guess it's a better situation than what we could be in. This point last year, they weren't even playing. And at the beginning of the season, they didn't know when they were actually going to get to play a home game, let alone get on the road or do anything like that. So I think you ask anybody in the organization, they're just tickled to death that they're actually able to play right now. But again, that just makes it more interesting that you have these games against, you know, the Pentictons once in a blue moon and the Cranbrooks. But, the one thing that I'm kind of disappointed about, we don't play Salmon Arm anymore, and they're the #1 team in the league. So it's like we're done with them already, and we don't get a chance to do any sort of retribution or see how we match up with them because we played them last in November. We won't see them again unless in the playoffs somehow we face out with them, and I really don't want that at this point. I think the most important thing is, and I've said this from the beginning, you look at the standings, you don't want to be 8th or 9th, or you don't want to be 8th and you don't want to be 7th. You want to be 6th or 5th or 4th. That's all you want. Because then you don't have to play Penticton in the playoffs. You don't have to play Salmon Arm in the playoffs. We've beaten Prince George. We can easily match up with West Kelowna as long as we play a good game. And obviously we beat Cranbrook. It's basically between Trail, Wenatchee, and Vernon right now at this point. I mean, it's just going to be a very interesting time in February, and seeing how long it's going to go and how many games, and hopefully everybody can stay healthy. That's the most important thing. When you're playing this many games, you got to stay healthy.
And your point is well taken. You really don't want to finish ninth, because then you don't even go to the playoffs. So,
and unfortunately, I don't think anybody has to worry about that. Although Merritt did win another game.
Yeah.
Good for them, but they're just, I don't think anybody has to worry about slipping into that position at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, Merritt is going to be is lower than a Gophers basement right now, so we've pretty much locked and loaded a playoff spot. Sean Zears, it's always great to see you. Again, the Penticton V's tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. They drop the puck tonight and Saturday at 6 o'clock on the Friday night game. It's a 7:05 first start. You can listen to Sean call the game on their flagship home, 560 KPQ, to call the action. A lot of people bring their radios, listen to Sean, and watch the game right there on the ice. Sean, it's great to see you, my friend. And next week, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care. Sean Zears, the interim broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Nice shot. Look at that.
Nice fish. We're eating tonight, boys.
Worksharp presents the Northwest Outdoorsman.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCW Life Channel, your local TV station.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa, or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Different birds enjoy different types of foods, so it's important to offer all the right things for the birds you want to attract. Sound complicated? It doesn't have to be. Our Flying Start Combo is an all-in-one feeder that attracts all the birds in your backyard, with seed, suet, nuts, and fruit. Stop by our store to find out how you can get started feeding the birds. Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
Just about ready to wrap up this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. It was 25 degrees when we started this show. It's still 25 degrees, and we're just going to... Are you tired of this yet, weather-wise? Well, we're finally going to get some changes, but you're going to have to pack some patience. It's not going to happen until Sunday. The sun will come back by the very end of this weekend, and we're going to see a system come through. It's going to scour out the skies. The low clouds, the fog, that'll all be gone, Johnson. And in return of that, we're going to see slightly warmer temperatures and maybe a little bit of snow in the Wenatchee Valley. I don't think it's really going to happen. If we get any snow at all, it would be a little bit maybe on Sunday morning and a little bit maybe early on Monday morning before it switches over to rain, because we're also going to have some warmer temperatures from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look-see. Cloudy, foggy, cold, 29. Cloudy, foggy, cold, 29. Cloudy, foggy, cold, 30. Oh, there you go. Mix things up a little bit, right? Sunday afternoon is when the system comes through. Mixes things up. It's going to warm us up a little bit. Still not going to see any sunlight, but at least it's going to be a little bit warmer. We're not really expecting any snow accumulation here in the Wenatchee Valley. The Cascades are going to get a lot of snow, by the way. Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, we're probably going to get a little bit of rain by the time Monday rolls around. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.